So the season starts out with a recap of Jamie and Angie's love for one another, Tommy killing his daddy, a whole bunch of just everything that was going on. And then we get into season 6.
They say this is a big rich town, yeah. And I just come from the poorest part.
Cut. Wait a minute. Yeah, they totally changed the intro, and it sounds like Trigger, and I love me some Trey songs, but I am not here for it. I need Joe. Proceed. So we start with Angie getting rushed to the ER after suffering a gunshot wound from Tommy. And before Jamie could even get his brain together, the cop is sitting there like, go ahead and roll her into the OR, and then me and you need to talk. So he's definitely not even in the right headspace, but he has to pull it together because the spotlight is on. So on the other side of town, Tommy is speeding, trying to get away from the scene. He calls Lakeisha, which I don't know why he's still bothered with her, because obviously he doesn't even like her. But he's telling her, get me some clothes. It just hit the fan. It's about to go down. So now Tommy pulls up on Tasha like, listen, I had a plan. It was to kill your husband. My bad. I accidentally killed his mistress, and I need you to give me an alibi. And Tasha is like, wait a minute. So you took a shot at the devil and you missed? She didn't even know about the plan. So not only do you spring that on her, but now you also telling her you need her help and that you don't care how she feels about it. His face says it all. So Paz is at the hospital, and Jamie's going back and forth, replaying his whole life with her. And all of a sudden, Paz comes out the OR, and she's screaming, murderer, and you killed my sister. So between Jamie having to process the fact that, he's just now finding out that Angela is actually dead, he's also having to comfort a grieving sister. So it's just a mess, and, his face just says it all. It hit him like a ton of bricks, but he really didn't know which way to go. So back at the ranch, you have Tamika, Jerry, and Cooper all in the room talking about who was to blame and who was to do what. And, now they know that Angela's actually dead. It's like, well, where do we go from here now? And at the end of this scene, you have Tamika talking about it's a dangerous place to work, but she doesn't have to worry about that for much longer. So now that Jamie is, done with the interrogation and he's been able to process the death, you see the switch from Jamie to Ghost. Look at his eyes. It's crazy. But yeah, now he's a man on a mission, and you know exactly who he's going for. Sax and the rest of them know that they all messed up, and now this woman is dead. So while her sister Paz is in there grieving over her body, here comes Sax talking about, listen, with some fake sympathy, if you don't give us permission to do an autopsy on your sister, pretty much you're the reason why she, Jamie gets to walk out of here free, which is totally ambushing her. But that's the approach that he decided to take, and he just pretty much said that and dropped the mic. Okay, so Tommy rolls up on Lakeisha. Lakeisha is so stupid. She's so excited to see him. Tommy roll up. Look at his face. Shut up. But it's just insane how you can see that there is he's not really caring for this girl. She's just able to help him get out of his mess. And I think right here is the pivotal point where he gave her a gun to dispose of. The gun that he used to kill AUSA Valdez. So I feel like this is going to come back to bite him in the future. He's going to see. So he just dropped the gun off with Ditzy Lakeisha, and who knows what she's about to do with it. So after he messes up and give Lakeisha the gun, he goes home, and look at his face walking into his house. It's like he already knows he's walking into some bullshit, but he just don't know how deep it is. In true to form, he walks right into the battle of the narcissists. I don't know who's worse, because throughout this whole fight scene, both of them are crying about who did what to the other, but neither one of them are looking at the fact that you're just running around here killing everybody that the other people love. So in the middle of the scene, all of a sudden, Tariq walks in, and he's trying to boss up on his dad. He's trying to get to the bottom of, trying to understand why he's walking into his uncle and his father fighting. And, Ghost is like, what are you doing here? You supposed to be at school. And he like, man, I do what the fuck I want to do, pretty much. With all the attitude in the world. Ghost tells him, go get in the car because you're going back to school. And Tariq is like, I'll go to school and I want to go to school. So this is I think this also paints the picture of where this is about to head for the relationship between Ghost and Tariq. So Tariq pretty much tells Tommy, hey, I'm here from school because I need some help with something. And in Tommy fashion, he's with the shits. Tommy was just didn't even care what it was. Whatever it is, we'll do it. And the biggest thing for me is when Ghost walked out of there, The last thing he said to Tommy is, this is not over. And Tommy was like, it is for me. So I think in Tommy's mind, they both killed somebody. They both had a fight, and now we're even. But Ghost is not there. That's not where he's at. So Cooper catches Proctor in the coffee shop, and the first thing he says is like, you pretty much went back and told Jamie that there was someone that who could identify him as Ghost. The biggest issue for me is, even his wife, Tasha, Tommy, all of them keep calling this man Ghost. So how do you want that name to go away and him not be associated with it when even his children know him as Ghost? Like, that's a problem. They've got to stop calling him that. But regardless, Cooper's whole motivation is like, look, you went back and told him, and then Angela got killed, so you're the reason. And all I can say is, looking at Proctor's whole face, his attitude, his whole mood is me all of 2019. Like, he's just like, wait a minute. So what you're saying is she got killed because you told me something. So really, it's not me that's at fault. It's you. Like, Proctor's a smart man, and right now he's just trying to see which angle he should take this thing at. So just how Tamika was complaining about her job, she's been relieved of her duties, and now they've got a Jacob Warner who's coming to take her place. And Sax, after his little meeting with old boy, now he's like, wait a minute, what's going on? People getting fired. He's got to secure his position, and the way he chooses to do that is by putting his own head on the chopping block, and he's offering up everybody when he knows that's not something that he could really do without just destroying everything and everybody on his path. But that's what he did to secure his position, and also he's got this little bug on him now because he does feel responsible for Angela's death. And so now Tommy shows up to meet Jason, black eye and all. Jason is like, what happened to your face? They sitting there clowning him. And he lets him know, hey, he got into it with Ghost. And first thing, Tommy is looking short term, like, oh, it's over, it's settled now. Jason is looking long term because he knows Ghost's reputation, and he's like, wait a minute, we need to make sure that he's not going to be a problem. Also, Tommy has money to get the product from Jason, and it was clean through Ghost. So Jason is like, wait a minute, hold on, I need to do some fact checking before I give you anything. So give me the check, and I'll get back to you, which just totally pisses Tommy off. So now Narcissism Jamie decides to call. He gonna blow up Tasha's phone. She comes up to the club. What's up? Your son is in town. Okay, so she's like, why'd you call me for that? Oh, well, Angela's dead and Tommy did it. So he's pretty much telling her everything she already knows. And she's like, well, hey, look at what you did. And in his own cloud or whatever he's got going on, he seriously looked Tasha in her face and told her that Tommy is loving the fact that the woman that he loves is dead. He's saying this to his wife when he's also coming to her because he needs her to be the bridge between him and Tommy, because for some reason, she's the voice of reason and she can kind of get through to both of them. So you tell your wife that the woman that you love is dead and you think you're going to get a good result out of her. Only thing on her mind is Silver, but she can't even focus on him because her narcissistic husband is so busy worried about his own emotions. And let's be clear, when Ghost killed Silver, that was not about I'm just, covering my bases. No, he did that because he saw him and Tasha and what occurred between them in that garage. Can somebody please tell me what is going on with Lakeisha and that ridiculous... You know what? I ain't even gonna say nothing about it. Y'all see it. Oh, Jesus, moving on. Once again, somebody is roughing poor little Proctor up. Like, Joe keep getting slammed up against the walls. Like, he's always getting abused and thrown around. And once again, he's being put in a position where his brain is going to get him killed. Because now, Jamie goes over there and tells him, hey, it wasn't me that shot Angela. It really was Tommy. And now, with him having this type of information... you just put Joe in more of an ugly position, but he is his lawyer. So he tells him the best thing for us to do is just go ahead to let's go down to the station and let's talk to them. Because if we get ahead of this, then they won't be railroading you. And once again, the bait is dangled because Joe tells Ghost that there is another female witness out there. Angela was not the witness. And as you can see in his eyes, this is how all the garbage begins. So Tommy shows up, black eye in tow once again. Everybody is clowning him, but he's there to tell them, hey, I'm kind of stressed out. I had a rough morning. I didn't get the product. It's going to take a little bit of time. And of course, Pancho wants to run his mouth and just get way over the top with it. And pretty much he threw in his face like, you ain't nothing without Ghost. Why would he say that? Like, they know Tommy is overly emotional, and, this is what happens. Brains on the floor. And that was a cute little play on, Cameron. They get shot every day. So Tasha tracks Tariq's phone. She finds him. She pulls up on him. What are you doing here? Based off the information that Jamie had given her that her son had left school. He's begging her to get an hour, just an hour. He's got something he's got to do, and he's not telling anyone what it is. So he's like, he just needs to get over there to Uncle Tommy's house. She's like, fine, go ahead. Finally, we see what it is. He has the ashes of Canaan, and this little boy is still struggling with some stuff mentally, but the only person he felt like he could really go to was Tommy. So now they're on the roof, and he lets the ashes go. And in the process, they wind up talking about the relationship between Tommy and Ghost. So in this moment, Tommy asked him how would he feel if something bad happened to his father? And I don't know if Tariq is answering out of fear of being honest, or if he really, he's a hard one for me to read, but I kind of feel like I see the snake in him when it comes to his father. But the flip side is, he gave a look to Tommy when Tommy told him what his father did, and he asked that question. So we'll just have to see how this one plays out. And this also lets me know that even though Tommy said it was over and it's over with me, in the back of his mind, he knows this is not over. And I don't know if he's going to try to get Ghost before he gets him, or if he's just waiting and he'll be ready for when it comes his way. So Jamie just left the precinct, and he's sitting up here fueled off of emotion, and he's running over there to go see Tommy, gun in tow. And the first thing he sees is Tommy pull up with his son. So his initial reaction was, wait a minute, what is this? Then he just decided to drop it. And I think that was important, because had he not dropped that at that moment, first of all, Tariq would have seen both of them possibly kill one another. And on top of that, it would have been a complete, it would have been horrible, because it would have been in public, and it was all fueled off of emotion with no real thought behind it. So this moment was one where I think Tommy's life was saved. Or rather, both of their lives were saved, and it was a bit of irony that he had just had this conversation with Tariq, and it really could have went a different way had Ghost not just walked away. So now Tasha's sitting at dinner with Mama, and only thing on Mama's mind is, she didn't care not one bit of sympathy for anyone with the fact that Angela is dead. She like, look, she's gone. She's out the way. So go back and claim your husband. Her whole motivation is, you don't have a job. You don't have anything going for yourself. So how are you going to let that man go? Now's your time to slide in. And Tasha's like, Ma, the reality is, no, we're done. It's over. And the mother is just like, well, whatever. And what are you holding out hope for? And Tasha's still grieving Terry Silver, even though it hasn't been confirmed that he's dead. She knows something's not right, and her mother is not here for it. Man, now this is where it gets crazy. So Jamie called himself trying to rid his own guilt and go over there and offer to pay for the funeral for Angela, and Pa's flipped. I think before this point, he wasn't really in danger of her allowing them to do the autopsy, because she just wanted to just put it all to rest, and it would have been whatever it is. But that right there was the camel that broke the straw's back. And because he approached Paz and she was already emotional, I think he just signed he signed Tommy's death certificate. This thing is about to come down like them dominoes that you stack, but we gonna see. Now, I think Tasha is dirty in so many ways, and she does a whole bunch of underhanded stuff, but she really, really loves that Terry Silver. And right here just shows her going through her grieving process. And it seems like everybody throughout this whole episode is grieving somebody who they probably shouldn't be grieving, but no one is allowing, them to get it out. So they're just grieving in silence, and it's really festering. And I think this is what's going to turn. That's where all this anger is coming in. And that's what's going to have them, the circle fighting with them amongst themselves, because they're all grieving. Everybody in here so far, Tariq, Ghost, Tasha, Tommy, everybody's grieving. Even Sax in a way is feeling his own level of guilt. But I don't know. This right here, this episode really set the tone for how this thing is about to go. So this is about to be a whole bunch of emotions that are fueling things when you have a whole bunch of trigger happy people. Here we go again with Loopy Lakeisha. Now, Tasha's called her phone, so that means her cell phone just pinged at the site, wherever they find that phone, the gun, because it's not like she's about to throw it real far. And on top of that, she's touching it with her hands. Tommy touched it with his hands and then put it inside of the little napkin. Like, Lakeisha, and I'm not saying you should be a criminal, because I'm about where Lakeisha is. That ain't even my lane. But she knows that's not the world for her. She should not even be playing this game. But Tommy sat up there and put his faith and his fate in her. And I just know this is not going to end well. Now, Ghost is sitting up here getting his strap together, and Tariq calls. And, Tariq is playing a real silly, I don't know, he's playing a game. And even though everyone's lying to him, he's lying as well. And his question is, he asked his father, do you know who killed Angela? I didn't like her, but no one really understood where I was coming from when Kanan was killed. So I understand what it is like to lose someone. For him to say that and then turn around and say to his father, like, I hope whoever killed her pays. If he knows Tommy did it, so that's kind of like pushing his father to go up against Tommy. Is he pushing his father to do that because now because Tommy made that sideways comment about his father, and now he's kind of going to turn on Tommy because he loves his father? Or is he doing that because he wants his father killed anyway? So this will just be more validation, like, yeah, Dad, you should just go ahead and handle whoever did this to Angela, when all along he knows it's Tommy. He wants to set his father up, and in his mind, he thinks Tommy's going to win. Like, I don't know Tariq's angle, but this is real interesting. And then when he got off the phone, the way he played it with the friend, like, he was just securing his position. He's playing chess, and I don't know, everybody else is playing double dutch. So after the phone call with Tariq, Ghost is in his truck, and he's just replaying all of this, loading up the clip. And Tommy's in there with Jason. Jason is like, hey, you sure this ain't an issue? And Tommy's like, yeah, no, Ghost is good. Me and Ghost are cool. Ghost is not going to interfere with the business. Don't worry about him. Thinking that this is just a little family matter. Not really, giving light to the severity of it. But Jason is smarter than that. Jason is not emotionally tied. So he throws out the bait. And guess who took it? So now Ghost goes up here, he lights the car up, and it puts Tommy and Jason, in a different mindset, because now Tommy's looking at it like, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, so this is really real now. So now with tears in his eyes, narcissist Tommy is sitting up here thinking like, wait a minute, like he really tried to kill me. Like they are not even looking at the fact that you just tried to kill him, but now he's trying to kill you. But it's okay when you try to kill someone, but the fact that they try to come back at you, then it's like, wait a minute, now we're at war. So I don't know if the tears are him already mourning the death or already, foreshadowing because he knows what's to come, but we're going to find out. Now, Ghost is back in the truck, and his brain is completely messed up. It's blown because he feels like he just killed his homeboy. Like, he just killed his brother. And not knowing that his brother is up there like, damn, you just tried to kill me. So, this is about to get good. Now, we back over here with Loopy Lakeisha. And I don't know if we need to address the elephant that's in the room or... No, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to just leave it alone. And so Lakeisha's still hanging all over Tommy. Tommy is not interested in this girl like that. But I think Tommy is coming to the realization that it's one thing when we see Tommy and we just know he's emotional. He acts off of emotions. It is a completely different situation when Ghost gets emotional. Because a lot of his kills over the seasons, they're not emotional kills. There's no emotion there. He's kind of like the devil with his. But when he gets emotional, like right now, he's hurt. I think they call him the devil. Look, it's about to get real crucial around here. And he's off the hinges. And especially once he finds out that Tommy is alive, I wouldn't be surprised if they killed each other trying to kill one another. Now, the scene ends with Ghost. This episode ends with Ghost going back to the house and just looking at the wine glasses from him and Angie and just reminiscing about everything. And, I can't wait to see the next episode because they definitely knew how to kick off the first episode. This is definitely a premiere. And make sure you guys subscribe, like, share, and comment. And we will reconvene next weekend.